Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. You get what you pay for with Robert Brown. I have a lot of cool knives, and I figured what I would do is I would kind of go over some of what I did in the past year going after the perfect front flipper, and then the result was my collection grew. But then I focused on the functionality and the build quality and all the important things that an EDC knife should offer. And then I not only did that, I looked at different price points of what you get. So that there is, to me, this is quite a pricey knife. This is an EMP EDC, multiple deployment, and that is a wonderful, wonderful knife. And I'll tell you all about that, why I like it. And then we have something that is fully functional, reliable, and beautiful that doesn't break the bank, which is this. This is the KANSEPT Vivid, which I loved a lot. And also, I need to tell you about a bunch of other knives, like this one, and this one, and that one, and this one here, and I'm going to go into detail about why I think these are worthy of spending money on. So, and I'm not done yet. I'm going to keep on putting some out there, and I'm going to put out some of the knives that, like I said, I journeyed down the road to find the ultimate front flipper and got lost a little bit looking. And boy, but I found some very nice knives along the way. And that's not it, actually. There are more, and I could keep on going. But I am going to touch down quickly on a lot of my knives. So if you would like to know what I know about front flippers and how they're designed, and what I found a success in the design, where it failed, and I just got a better understanding after spending over actually a year looking and experimenting with them. So this here is one of my favorites, and it's a Miguron, but it falls underneath the AM8, but that's the logo for that, which is connected with Miguron. And this has premium, you can see it there, premium S90V steel, titanium bolster, and beautiful carbon fiber foil handles. It is just spectacular. But then again, so is this EDC EMP titanium frag handles. This is the Tonto, and boy, let me tell you, the functionality and the design on this knife is just impeccable. And I think it's definitely one of my favorites that I've found that I will not let go. So it's a user, and I am using it quite often. It's in the pocket a lot. So that's another thing I wanted to touch down on. With all these knives, what knife does a knife affiliate collector carry the most? I don't know. Which one do you think that I carry the most here? leave in the comments below if you know about all these knives. And people in the knife community, they know all these knives. You guys know all these knives. They're all wonderful knives, except for maybe this one, which is a hardware store find. And I just want to go into that because it looks really cool, but that's going to stay over here. So you guys that want to know, like I said, about my little journey down this path, stay tuned. I'll go over some cool details of why I like and dislike some of my front flippers, and most of these knives that you see here, they're all keepers for me, and they are all examples on how knives operate, and whether they're good or bad. Most of them, these are actually mostly good because I get rid of the bad ones, but I do keep some examples of knives that I don't think are really that well designed. They're hanging out somewhere in a box, but I'm going to bring some of those out too. So this is going to kind of be a longer video. We're at the 6-minute mark now, and I'm going to clear out the table, and I'm going to grab one, and then I'm going to go into the rest of them. So stay tuned, guys, if you want to hang out with me and talk knives. Be back in a second. Okay, right now you're looking at some of my nicer front flipper kind of knives that I was looking for perfection. And then I have some budget friendly knives over here, also all front flippers, and whether they work as a front flipper or not, we'll get into that. Also, with all of these, depending on whether you like the company or not, I have, like I said, Miguron or AM8. I have KIZER over here. I got EMP EDC. I have KANSEPT. I have another Miguron over here. And I have over here a REMETTE and another REMETTE. So let's dig in. So I'm going to pick a fancy one first. Fancy meaning it's going to be $150+. So this, I believe, you can get, it fluctuates, which is the version I have here, titanium handles, and the action on it is outstanding, and it is a wonderful design. It's very hard to see, but it's all about, the knife designer and his experience in the business and how long he's been doing it. Not to say that some beginners can hit the ball right out of the park with their first design. Not going to say that that is not impossible, but when you have years of experience and you have a ton of knives behind you in design, you get really good at it. So this one here, as far as front flipping and the action and everything about it, as far as deployment and how smooth it is, and like I said, the build quality, this has got to be the best bang for the buck and the best front flipper on the market. I definitely think it just is one of the most outstanding designs. You're getting a lot for your money. Everybody's got tons of reviews on this knife, so if you want to go look in depth, you can just immerse yourself in this knife. So it is just an amazing tool, and I think it's wonderful. You can also see right there S35VN, and right up in there, you can't really see it because it's in the shadows, but it's the Militaw. So again, the operation on the knife, pushing on this frame lock, is just so buttery smooth, and there's so much to push on. It's very easy to operate. So this gets like one of my highest ratings. I'm going to put that up here, and it's going to stay there for the duration of the video until we pull it back down. So now, just to be on the other side of the whole spectrum, I'm going to grab this, which is the Miguron. There's the Miguron logo. This is the Pagos, which is also a front flipper, dual stud, thumb studded, and it's a liner lock. So it flies out. It's got a beautiful drop point, functional blade design. It's got really, really nice grippy handle. Again, I'm not going to go into every detail about it, but I'm going to tell you at the 14C28 and blade steel and the price point that this is, and the way that it functions, like again, your thumb can easily find that liner lock, push it out of the way, and the action on it is just spectacular. Again, let's go to why I bought it. Because I was looking for a budget-friendly front flipper that would kick all the expensive ones' butt. Because you get what you pay for looks for stuff like that. We will look for things that are lower cost, that are just superior to the higher cost things. This, the front flip on it, works very, very well, and I have no problem with it, and I think it is also one of the best. It could be a little sharper across the knurling and a little further back here with knurling, like travel all the way back would be great. So when you roll across, you just have more grip, but it works fine. It works wonderful. And at the price point, I'll have links for all these, and it's just, I'll have the prices floating around when the knives are being shown, and I don't have it right off the top of my head, but this is a low price knife in the $50–$60 range. Okay. Oh, and functional titanium pocket clip. Now we're going to go back to in search of the ultimate front flipper. We're going to go look at this. Since we're looking at that Miguron Pagos, we're going to look at this AM8, which is also pretty much a Miguron. So this right here, as you can see, has beautiful textured titanium bolster with this. That is actually copper carbon fiber handle scales there with a fully functional pocket clip, much like the design of this one. This one is designed even better and works really, really well because it's got more clearance there. And we're after the ultimate front flipper. Now, it took me over a year to get this knife because it was completely sold out. This is the Flix 2. So I believe they had a Flix 1 and then they came out with a Flix 2, and I'm not sure about all the differences, but they improved it, and the profile of the flipper face and the location of it makes it for one of the best designs aside from the Militaw. This is one of the best front flipper designs I've run across in the whole year and a half I was searching. So again, this one you can just gently push and it just pops right out. It's so well designed, and what we can look at is the similarities right now of these two knives. Look at them. They are very, very, very similar in design, but different in so many ways. But this here, the frame lock, again, has nice and high push through. When your thumb comes across, it just meets it, and the flex on it is so nice, so easy to use, and the action on it is amazing. The thumb hole is a little narrow, so catching your reverse bitey flick on it and then trying to push out here is a little tough. I can spidey flick it better with my nail because it works better that way. But to be honest with you, the only way I really open this knife is the front flip, because the front flip is fantastico. Just fantastico. So let's move on. Putting that one up there. And let's go to a lower end one. So something that I've been using a lot that I thought was just going to be just a winner, because it works so well in all the other ways, but the front flip is just not a huge success, but it does work. This is a button lock, dual thumb studded front flipper. So it's got a whole bunch of ways to open and close. Beautiful knife. I used it a ton, and I was just so hoping it was going to be a really successful on the front flip, but it's just not as easy as it should be. Therefore, I had to move on and keep on looking. So with the REMETTE Rhino, you know, the 14C28 end blade steel, the design, the handle, the ergonomics, everything, I thought that I was just going to have the perfect, everyday, perfect knife. And, you know, there's this, like, I don't know if it's an argument, but it is a conversation to be had on spending $55 or so on a knife and having that as your EDC, because who wants to spend, say, you know, upwards of more than $200 or so for a knife and bump that and bang that around? Because if you're money conscious, you're probably not going to want to do that. But that's the conversation. Some people say, you know what, I spend $800, $700, $900, $1,000, and I'll stick that knife in my pocket and use it every day. So again, it's a conversation amongst the knife community. Now, this is a user for me, and regardless of the price, just because of the design and the functionality of the knife is just so right. Back to this one over here. I was hoping that this could be so right, but it would have to be really good. And see, it's hard to do that front flip. I just slid off twice. It doesn't feel good when you do that, and it really shouldn't be that hard to push that over the pivot. So great knife, awesome, but more of a thumb stud deploy on that puppy. Over to the KANSEPT Fenrir. I have this fully covered in my video catalog. You must check that out if you're interested in the Fenrir. I go into the story of the wolf and all kinds of things about the design and Mr. Sparrow knives. He is awesome. So again, I bought this to be my EDC front runner that has multiple deployments. So we're talking dual thumb studs and a front flip. That's multiple to me. 1, 2, 3. More is better. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can do like all kinds of variations. Like you can like take this one and big flick it like a big lighter. So you can get all creative with it. So this one as a front flipper, the Fenrir, fantastic. Now, it just works really, really well. And as soon as you push on a successful front flip tab, you know, the feeling of pushing on a great thumb stud and the detent, The same thing up here. When you apply pressure on the face there, it should just come out without giving you pain. And pain right there. That's no bueno. So this one here, the price is a bit high in the $185 to $200 range, but look what you're getting. You're getting beautiful, and it's a knife that is functional, and take it out and everybody will be like, wow, what's that? A harpoon shaped thing. So to each his own, right? It's a beautiful knife, but do you want to spend this much money and carry it around and bang it up? I do, but some people don't. I'm sharing my view on the front flipper success. This one, absolutely great and successful in the front flip. So we're going to put this over here. We're going to put our front flip successes over here. See them all? We have all these front flip successes, and it's really hard to say which one is the best one out of them all, but then you look at the other ways they deploy. So you start factoring that in too, and then you come up with your favorite one. Or is it this one? Or is it this one? But we already talked about some of the flaws that these have. We didn't really talk about this one. I just did a video on this one. This one is the REMETTE Wild Species. Front flipper, dual thumb studded. So multiple ways of deploying, but it kind of lacks because of the width here. Pushing that over the top is very hard. You got to push the pad of your thumb pretty much there, gripping, and you flip it open, and it'll flip open every time, but you just can't rely on just, doing the old slice right over there like you can with this one. See, put that right over there in the tender part of your thumb, and bam, pops out every time. No pain, no problem. This one, if I tried to do it right now, it's going to hurt, so I'm not going to do it. So, just doesn't work as far as being perfect in the front flip. Move that one aside. Is it this one? Well, no, because the actual thumb hole is a little narrow and it doesn't work perfectly for all deployments. So that one goes away. I'm just going to push them off the side. Is it this one? Awesome price point, multiple deploys, dual thumb stud, and front flipper. Oh, it could be this one, This is one of my favorites and goes in and out of rotation all the time. I'm going to leave that right there. I got this for $27 on eBay. Someone spilled their coffee or chocolate milk in it, and it was disgusting. I pulled it all out, cleaned it, and it worked like brand new. Is it the Fenrir KANSEPT? I mean, is it the KANSEPT Fenrir? I don't know. It could be, but you know what? This is a little heavy, it's a little fancy, and it's a little too shocking to be a walk-around EDC. Little old ladies will run away and be scared of that knife. I'm just joking, but in all honesty, this is so much more innocent looking. So we're going to leave that on the table. It's down to these three, right? Because we got these on the table. Well, no, sorry. I'm going to have to throw one into the mix just to confuse you all. But it is absolutely my all-time favorite. It's my absolute all-time favorite front flipper. This is the KUNWU Tau 2. And it works so well with this front flip design and the textured handles and just everything about it. Again, it's on the pricey side, but for what it is and what I like about it, the front flip works awesome. It's got a back flipper, so it's two ways of deploy. It's missing the thumb stud, but I can always add on a bolt-on thumb stud to that, which a lot of people do. So you can just flip that open with just flipping back on there, no problem. That's kind of like your, you can do it any way you want. It opens very, very nicely. So The knurling up here, even though it stops, it doesn't need to go all the way around because of the profile of this is high in relationship to the pivot. And I learned, and I showed you before, the dimensions of here lend it so much easier to go front flipper if that's not so wide. So my hand is not stretching all the way across like I was showing you on this knife. See that? It's stretching. My hand is so far open there compared to this. Much narrower. So when it's much narrower like that, you can just put the soft part of your sensitive thumb there against the face of that front flipper platform, and bam, it fires out perfectly every time. Drop shut action on this knife. I'm not going to go into the details. Want to watch a video? I have it. You can go check it out. This is just absolute front flipper perfection, and it also has the back, so I'm making it #1 for me as far as the front flipper goes. And the reason that it beat out this, only because of those textured handles. Otherwise, if this had titanium textured handles on it, this would be my #1. Why is it not this one? Well, because the front flip on this is still a little low and it's a little tricky to get it. It's not that tricky, but it's not perfect. It's an awesome, awesome design, and it's in my rotation quite often, but it's not the perfection for me. And I thought this was going to be it. I thought this was just going to be my all-time favorite knife, as I am also a fidget guy. So in the fidget community, this is considered one of the best. So because you have the back flipper, you have the front flipper, you have Spidey flick out, you have thumb flick out, you can just keep on going and going. So as far as an EDC favorite that has everything and a great front flipper, this is it. This is my all-time best EDC, most fun to deploy, functional, great material, blade steel. It's just awesome. Of course, I have a review on this knife. If you want to go look at all the details, go check it out. It is just a wonderful knife, and I love it. So, you can clearly see why it's a little better as an EDC knife, just because it's smaller. This is an awesome knife, but it's just on the big side. Otherwise, that would be in my pocket much more than this. EMP EDC wins the battle, and it took 1.5 years to get there, discovering and rediscovering and learning and unlearning, and then just finalizing. So I hope you guys like this video. Like and subscribe. I needed someone to talk knives to. No one else hangs out with me. If you guys want to hang out with me more, hit the notification bell and share with your friends. Thanks for coming. Take care.